What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I am here with the 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander. This one has the Hybrid Max powertrain, and this is the fully loaded Platinum trim. And Toyota has sent me the Grand Highlander to keep for an entire week so that I can give you guys the most thorough review possible. This is a big and spacious 3-row family SUV, and it's extremely comfortable. So real quick, let's talk about the suspension. Struts up in the front with coil springs, and a multi-link suspension in the rear also with coil springs. It just has a very floaty feel to it, feels very Lexus-like. We're riding on 20-inch wheels on a 55 series sidewall on the tire. We are riding on Yokohama Geolandar all seasons. Out here on back roads at low speed. Outside noise is kept to a minimum. It's actually a lot quieter than I expected. This does have laminated glass, so that certainly helps. Potholes, bumps in the road, these manhole covers. The suspension just eats all of it right up. Now, I've been driving this mostly casually in the city over the last few days. It was dropped off to me with a full tank of gas, and if you can see there in the cluster, still have over 7/8 of a tank left. And that's actually pretty impressive for two reasons. One, the size of this thing, and two, the power it puts out. This gets 26 miles per gallon in the city and 27 on the highway. When you hear hybrid and 27 miles per gallon, right away your head wants to say, well, that's not very impressive. But remember, we are talking about a true 3-row family hauler. Now, the cabin is pretty quiet for the most part, especially when it comes to like outside noise. But you do get some noise from the engine. It's a little bit on the loud side. But also right here in the interior, I don't know if the microphone's picking it up, but there's something here in the dash that's rattling. It's a high-pitched rattling noise, and you pretty much hear it on every little bump that you go over. Now, normally I'm listening to music when I'm driving. When listening to music, you don't really hear it, but when you have it just silent in here like this, it's very irritating. I don't know if this is just a one-off issue with this particular unit that I'm driving, but if you're watching and you own a Grand Highlander, let me know in the comments. Are you having this issue or not? All right, next let's talk about the powertrain. So as I said earlier, this is the Hybrid Max powertrain. That gives you a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with 2 electric motors, and that puts out a combined 362 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. And that is paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission. And this has all-wheel drive, and I believe it is an electronic all-wheel drive system similar to the one in the RAV4 hybrid. It doesn't necessarily work like a true all-wheel drive system. Basically, there's a separate motor in the back that powers the rear wheels independently from the engine that's powering the front wheels. And before we head into the acceleration test, let's take a look at the drive modes. Now, I'm pulled over to show this because it's all the way down here. So you have normal here, and then there's a dial where you can select mud and sand and rock and dirt. That's more of like a multi-terrain select type thing. And then you have snow over here, but your main drive modes are normal, eco, and sport. And going into the acceleration test, we're gonna put it in sport. See the little animation that pops up when you put it in sport? That's cool. And the transmission does give you paddle shifters on the back. So I figured out the source of the squeak and rattle. It is actually the screen itself, because when I push on it, it recreates that exact same sound. The fit and finish, otherwise, of everything in here seems good. But yeah, the screen. It doesn't really feel loose or anything, but it is making that constant squeaking, rattling noise. My expectations for Toyota have become pretty high, so this is a little disappointing. All right, we're gonna come to a complete stop up here. We're going a little bit uphill, so keep that in mind. No brake torquing. We're keeping this as realistic as possible. All right. So advantages and disadvantages. It's quick. There's no doubt about that. And that 400 pound-feet of torque, you get the full torque at under 3,000 RPM. But the disadvantage is that you don't really know for sure what it's doing because we don't have a tachometer. Since this is a hybrid, you get a power gauge instead of a tachometer, but not every Toyota is like that, because the trucks that have the iForce Max powertrain, like the 4Runner, the Land Cruiser, I drove both of those within the last month. Those cars gave you a tachometer. So it's hard for me to judge exactly where the engine is revving to and where it's shifting, but there is certainly no lack of power. You get that full 400 pound-feet of torque, pretty low down. This has a kickdown switch on the back of the accelerator. And basically that's a little button that clicks when you put your foot all the way down to the floor. And basically what that does is it instantly drops the transmission down one gear. It only makes sense to use basically in a highway scenario where you need to pass somebody. Once you're already in motion, then it makes sense to drop a gear and then have the space to rev. But there is 0 point in using the kickdown switch if you're already in first. So if you have a heavy foot, that is something to keep in mind, and something you would have to get used to over time. All right, so now we are gonna take this out on the highway. Still in sport. That engine sounds nice. So at these higher highway speeds, we do get a little bit of wind noise that comes in from the tops of the windows. Hopefully this traffic will clear up a bit further up. You can hear those high-pitched noises from the electric motor and all these little transitions from the bridge and stuff. The suspension does a pretty good job of absorbing most of that. Now out here on the highway, it's not Lexus level quiet, but it's not super loud either. Now one thing I can say is that the Hybrid Max powertrain is a lot quieter than the iForce Max powertrain, especially that Toyota 4Runner Trailhunter with the snorkel on the side. Really loud. But as far as Toyota's hybrid systems go, I'd say this one is on the quieter side. Yeah, listen to that. Transmission only having 6 gears, it revs for pretty long before it shifts. Now this is a 6-speed, whereas the iForce Max powertrain, those trucks had an 8-speed. But I think this 6-speed works perfectly well. Having 400 pound-feet of torque is great, but having it all in the low end makes it even better. Now, if only this damn screen would stop rattling, because that is so annoying. If I hold it, it stops, for the most part. But it should not have to come to that. And I'm sure if the microphone is picking that up and you can hear it, that it's, you watching, it's probably pretty annoying as well. Alright, while we're out here, we're going to test out the adaptive cruise control system. So it looks like lane keep assist is already turned on. You can see the little green icon there in the head-up display. And then, let's see, we hit that to set the speed. Alright, that has our following distance. And we can up the speed. And let's lower that following distance, because that's a bit too much. So we have it now at 2 car lengths. Let's put it back to 1. Now Toyotas, some have worked well, others haven't with the adaptive cruise control. It always does good, I find, with the acceleration and the braking, but the weakness is usually the steering and the lane centering. So let's see. Okay, it's giving me the warning to put your hands on the wheel. Toyotas, I've found, put the warning like really frequently, so that gets a little annoying. But at the same time, it's not meant to be a fully autonomous system. Okay, I have it set at 1 car length, so that's pretty reasonable, I think, of what it has me at behind the car in front. Now it's bridging the gap here, getting closer to the truck in front. Lane centering assist seems to be doing pretty good so far. It does decent with the lane merging and everything, but there's one specific turn coming up over here that's like the true test. Some cars don't slow down enough on turns coming up, so we're still at a pretty, high speed here. Now we have the turn coming up, and usually we drift out of the lane, but let's see. And we're getting a little too close for my liking there. I did feel the wheel actively trying to keep it in the lane. Unfortunately, that car kind of messed me up there. So I blame the Tesla, not this. Even though I did intervene out of precaution, I did feel the wheel pulling back though. Okay, now let's see how it is in stop and go. So foot completely off the accelerator and the brake. Now the speed is all the way down to 19. We're only rolling at 4 here. But we're still pretty much maintaining that 1 car distance between the car in front. Now if I up it to 2, now let's see. All right, now we gotta up the speed because now we're moving again. But see, we're already applying the brakes. Yeah, that looks like about 2 car lengths distance wise. So following distance, acceleration, braking, very good. But steering and lane centering, I think it's fine, just not exceptional. This 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander Platinum has an 11-speaker JBL audio system. So let's take a listen. So the JBL system in here also has its pros and cons. The biggest pro, I would say, is the power. This is a big SUV, and at first, 11 speakers really doesn't sound like much. I automatically assumed it was going to be underpowered, but I don't think it's lacking in power whatsoever. In fact, if you could hear the rattling going on in the door panels, maybe it's just a little bit too much. And the actual sound itself, I mean, the low end bass, it doesn't sound like it's overpowered or getting out of control or being like weirdly compressed or anything like that, but the door panel isn't taking it too well. A lot of rattling inside kind of this middle portion of the door panel here, especially when the bass hits. A lot of rattling here in the door panel. And as far as overall clarity, I'd say it's pretty average. Not very crystal clear in the mid-range frequencies, but between the rattling noise coming from the screen and the rattling in the door panel, I think the fit and finish in here isn't necessarily on par with, other Toyotas that I've spent time with. So the audio system itself, it's not bad, but all the rattling in the interior makes it less desirable. So now we are out here at the back roads to test out the steering and the handling of the Grand Highlander. Now, most Toyotas I've driven, I don't love the way the steering is tuned. I usually find it's a bit too loose for my liking, but I won't say that's the case here. I think the tightness, it's somewhere in the middle between, light and heavy. A little bit more towards the light side, but not to the point where you can steer with one finger, like some other Toyotas I've driven. Now this is a tall SUV, so we certainly have plenty of body roll, and there's just no way around that. This is not something you want to throw into a corner at high speed. But the all-wheel drive system does good with providing ample traction. Now if I throw it back in sport mode, there really isn't any difference in the feel of the steering. I think that the three main drive modes, which are normal, eco, and sport, only differ in the throttle input. No difference in steering. Now in terms of responsiveness, I mean, it is fairly quick to respond, I'll give it that. Now the last thing about this car that I do take issue with is the regenerative braking. So since this is a hybrid system, it uses regenerative braking to capture some of the kinetic energy, and then it uses that to add some extra charge to the battery. When I hit the brake here, you can probably see here in the gauge cluster, you see those two little red lines that pop up at the bottom. That shows you when the regenerative braking is in action. So my issues with the regenerative braking are, one, it's very unpredictable, and two, there's no setting in the system that you can change. And what I mean by unpredictable is not sure of when it's going to kick on or how aggressively it's going to kick on. Sometimes it won't kick on until you put your foot on the brake pedal. Other times it'll come on as soon as you let up off the accelerator. It's like you never know when it's going to do it. And then also sometimes it brakes lightly and other times it brakes pretty hard. So the system is kind of all over the place, and I have tried to figure out, what is there a certain way that it acts in a certain scenario? And to be 100% honest, I could not come up with anything. So MSRP of this 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid Max Platinum is $60,270. Big thank you to Toyota for sending me the Grand Highlander to keep for an entire week so that I can give you guys the most thorough review possible. Let me know your thoughts on the Grand Highlander down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please share with a friend and subscribe. It'll really help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos, and be sure to follow @OpticalAutomotive on TikTok and Instagram, and check out the page on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.